environmentally sustainable and economically sustainable.
That will most likely have an impact on surgeries.
Coming up on Ignite News.
Himself.
Santa
had a
Claus
message
comes
for
to
all the
town.
little boys and girls.
Mohawk's newest classroom at the airport. And Hamilton police talk about the dangers of sexting. And later in the show,
Olivia Newton-John was in Hamilton last night, Justin Bieber swept the American Music Awards, and Argo finally topped the box office. All this coming up in entertainment.
It'll be mostly cloudy around the region today, but we'll start seeing some sun over the next couple of days. I'll have more coming up in your weather update.
Coming up in sports, the McMaster Marauders are set to defend their 2011 Vanier Cup Championship this Friday in Toronto. There's only one game to talk about in the NFL Monday Nighter, and the Toronto Blue Jays are bringing back a familiar face in the bullpen. That's coming up in sports, so stick around.
your Ignite News starts now.
Good morning and welcome to your Ignite News for Tuesday, November 20th. I'm Diego Flamini.
And I'm Glenn Cuthbert. Here's what's making news. The Hamilton Tiger Cats have found a new home for the 2013 CFL season. The football team and the University of Guelph have reached an agreement that will allow the Tiger Cats to play 9 home games and an exhibition game at Alumni Stadium, home of the Guelph Griffins. The Tiger Cats are without a stadium for the 2013 season, as Iverwood Stadium is being torn down. Alumni Stadium has a seating capacity of 7,500, but temporary seating could expand it to between 12,000 and 15,000 as part of the deal. An announcement is expected later today.
We took to the halls and asked people at Mohawk what they thought about the Tiger Cats playing their home games in Guelph.
Oh, I'm pumped about it. I love Ticats and I love Guelph. I mean, it's a hell of a matchup. That's what I have to say.
I feel it's a great thing, you know, going all the way to Guelph. It's pretty cold up there, but I'm sure they can make it happen.
Well, I think it's okay because, well, we still got a team playing for CFL, so as long as we get some representation from Hamilton, I think it's okay.
Well, it's good to know that there's finally have a place arranged. I mean, Guelph, I think, is probably a good location because it's not too far a drive for Hamilton, and I know it's probably a good fan base out in that area.
So yeah, the Tiger Cats should stay in Hamilton. They're the Hamilton Tiger Cats, not the Guelph Tiger Cats. McMaster really should have stuck through with the deal. We'll let them playing at the Ron Joyce Field.
There are concerns that the death of Islamic reader Rami Harb in central Gaza will make a ceasefire with Israel much harder to reach. Harb and 4 Jihad colleagues were in their third-floor office on Monday when a missile came through their front window. The leader's death serves to increase tension in the already volatile Gaza Strip, where intensified fighting between Israel and militant group Hamas has already claimed more than 100 lives.
OxyContin's patent will expire Sunday, making way for generic versions like Oxycodone to be available at a cheaper price. The federal government is not standing in Health Canada's way to approve the painkiller, despite the provincial government's request to refuse or delay the approval. The province says OxyContin is highly abused, and if generic versions are released at a cheaper price, it will increase addiction issues. The Federal Drug and Food Act requires that Health Canada approve prescriptive medications if they are proven to do more good than harm when used properly.
A classroom was donated to Mohawk College, but there's a catch. The classroom is so big that it has to be stored at the Hamilton International Airport. Ignite News reporter Diego Flamini has more.
It might look like any other airplane, but take a walk inside and it's anything but. The Boeing 727 jet was donated by Kelowna Flightcraft and will serve as the newest classroom and lab for Mohawk's aviation program located at the Hamilton International Airport. The luxury interior and gadgets that once lined the aircraft have been ripped away, leaving exposed wiring and oxygen hoses for the students to work on. Instructor Blaine Stafford says the life-sized lab could help students find a job after graduation.
Well, we kind of like to think that we offer a little bit of everything, but having a big airplane on board, having something that the students can actually get their hands on to work on, is going to give them that little bit of an advantage over someone who maybe only ever gets to work on the lighter aircraft.
First-year student Jeffrey De Silva says the plane offers a learning dynamic that a textbook simply can't.
You only can learn so much off the books, and a lot of the kids in the aviation program are more hands-on kind of learners. So the fact that we actually get to hold the bolts in our hand, hold the tools, actually get to use them before we actually go out into the field is actually a huge experience for us.
The plane used to belong to Hotel Magnate Leona Helmsley. It was donated to Mohawk last fall, but had to be stripped of its luxury interior, everything down to its solid gold faucet. For Ignite News, I'm Diego Flamini. Over and out. The province is contributing $46 million to the cleanup of the toxic coal tar in Randall Reef. The $140 million project will be paid for by all 3 levels of government, although the money from the federal government is yet to be released. U.S. Steel is investing $12 million in products to create a coal tar containment facility to prevent further damage.
As part of Crime Prevention Week, Hamilton's Police Crime Prevention Branch tackled sexting. Ignite News reporter Sarah Aitchison has the story.
A recent study shows 1 in 5 young adults have sent or posted a nude picture or video. Hamilton's Crime Prevention Branch launched a presentation on November 8th about sexting and the need for awareness for the new term. Hamilton's Crime Prevention Officer, Claus Wagner, led the presentation, stressing that sexual violence through sexting is a reality in Ontario.
Really, this is where a lot of this started, was the colleges and universities, and we're finding out now that it does have serious consequences because, you know, you're in your first year and it's all a party and you've sent a naked picture of yourself possibly, and now you're in your 4th year and you're going out putting job applications and they go onto Facebook and then they find out this picture and you think to yourself, oh my goodness, what did I do? Amanda Todd really brought it out there to the forefront where everybody jumped on this and said, you know what, it's not a backroom type thing, it's not a playground thing, it's not in your bedroom by yourself with your friend or your boyfriend. It's out there and it's happening all the time.
Several students at Mohawk say they have witnessed incidents attributed to sexting.
I had a friend in high school who sent a picture to a guy and he exposed her all through Facebook.
I know lots of people that have received scandalous photos, and I've seen lots of photos that maybe I didn't really want to see that much.
As technology has advanced, has sexting within the college environment increased?
I think it's increased everywhere with the increased use of technology. It becomes easier. We need to be teaching people morals and values that teach them that sending nude photos of yourself to people really, isn't the best thing to do.
Sexting may not be as sexy as it seems. Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Sarah Aitchison.
Professors at Queen's University have written an open letter of apology to former history professor Michael Mason over the handling of accusations that he used racist and sexist language while teaching last year. The letter comes 2 months after a report by the Canadian Association of University Teachers says that Queen's administrators acted callously and irresponsibly.
Here's a look at today's top stories. The Hamilton Tiger Cats have found a new home for the 2013 CFL season. Oxycodone is up for approval in Ottawa and may be available as early as Sunday at a much cheaper price. And the province is contributing $46 million to the cleanup of the toxic coal tar in Randall Reef. Who wrote that story?
It looks like we've got some clouds in your forecast. Let's head over to Dana with your weather update.
Thanks, guys. It'll be mainly cloudy around the region today. Starting things off in Windsor, we'll see mostly clouds with the fog patches clearing later this morning and a high of 13 degrees. London will also have a cloudy day. They're sitting at a temperature of 11 degrees. Over in the Golden Horseshoe, Niagara Falls is at 10 degrees with cloudy skies. More of the same in Toronto, mostly clouds with the fog patches disappearing later this morning. They're sitting at a temperature of 10 degrees. Here in Hamilton, it'll be a mainly cloudy day with a high of 9. Taking a look at the next 24 hours in Hamilton, the fog will clear later this morning, but will remain cloudy with a temperature of 6 degrees. Overnight, it will be partly cloudy with fog developing later this evening. It gets a little cooler as we drop down to a temperature of +4. Tomorrow morning, the fog will disappear and we'll finally see some sunshine. We'll have a temperature of 4 degrees. Looking into the 5-day forecast, tomorrow will be a beautiful sunny day with a high of 10 and a low of +1. We'll see more sunshine on Thursday with a high of 11 and a low of 3 degrees. It won't be as nice on Friday. We'll have some showers and wind with a high of 9 and a low of 7 degrees. Heading into the weekend, Saturday will be cloudy with a 70% chance of showers with a high of +2 and a low of -1. Then on Sunday, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of +1 and a low of -2. That's all for your weather. Let's head over to Adam with your entertainment.
Four-time Grammy Award winner Olivia Newton-John was at a Hamilton fundraiser last night to share her experience as a breast cancer survivor. The fundraiser was held in honor of an upcoming CIBC Breast Assessment and Cancer Center at Juravinski Hospital. Newton-John discussed her 19-year battle with breast cancer and the emotional toll of the diagnosis. The event managed to sell more than 900 tickets and is anticipated to generate $60,000 for the new facility. Canadian pop sensation Justin Bieber swept the American Awards on Sunday, winning all 3 categories in which he was nominated for. Bieber was speculated to face some strong competition from Rihanna, Katy Perry, Maroon 5, and Drake. Bieber made headlines when he brought his mother to accept the first award with him. He also gave a shout-out to the haters during the acceptance speech. A record low number of people turned into this year's Music Awards, with only 9 million viewers compared to 12 million last year. Now let's see what's happening around Mohawk College.
I'm Brad Phillips, and this is your community calendar. 2011 Canadian Country Music Hall of Famer Michelle Wright will host a special concert on Tuesday, November 20th at 8 p.m. in the Molson Canadian Studio at Hamilton Place. The concert will feature some of her award-winning greatest hits, plus a collection of world-class songs from Anne Murray, Merle Haggard, Aretha Franklin, and Al Green. Come out and enjoy a great night of entertainment from one of Canada's great vocal talents. On Wednesday, November 21st, Mohawk's men's and women's basketball teams are in action in the Fennel campus gym as they take on Redeemer University College. Come out and support your Mountaineers as last year's CCAA champs continue regular season play. And the Salvation Army will be holding a special breakfast event called Hope in the City at the Hamilton Convention Center on Thursday, November 22nd from 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Olympic gold medalist Katrina Lemaidon and Peter Jaycock will be keynote speakers. For tickets, you can visit hopeinthecity.ca. That was your community calendar. Now back to the studio.
Vampires and werewolves were attacking the box office over the weekend. The Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 2 took over a weekend gross of $141,000. The famous James Bond series Skyfall fell in second with a gross of just $41,000, and Lincoln came in third with $21,000.
Thanks, Adam. The McMaster Marauders are set to defend their Vanier Cup title as Canada's best in university football when they play Laval at a rematch of last year's contest. The game will be played this Friday at the Rogers Centre in Toronto. If McMaster wins, they will be the first back-to-back winners since Laval did it back in 2003 and 2004. Only one game went down in the NFL Monday nighter last night. The San Francisco 49ers got the better of the Chicago Bears 32-7. San Fran's quarterback of the future, Colin Kaepernick, led the way as Alex Smith sat on the sidelines with a concussion. Kaepernick threw for 243 yards and ran for a 14-yard touchdown of his own for his first career win. The win improves San Francisco's record to 7-2-1, while the Bears fall to 7-3. And on to some baseball news. It looks like the Blue Jays are going to a familiar face over the reins as the club's new manager. John Gibbons has been named the team's manager to start the 2013 season. Gibbons previously managed the Jays for parts of 5 seasons from 2004 to 2008, where he posted 305 wins and 305 losses. The move adds to the Jays' already busy offseason, where they have already acquired Melky Cabrera, Jose Reyes, Josh Johnson, and Mark Burley. That's all for me with sports. Let's pass it back to the desk with Diego and Glenn.
It's a Christmas tradition. Hamilton streets were filled with floats and Christmas cheer, waiting for a very special visit from someone from the North Pole. Ignite News reporter Glenn Cuthbert was there and has more.
The spirit of Christmas took over the downtown streets on Saturday as Hamilton celebrated the annual Santa Claus Parade. Thousands of people lined the streets watching the elaborate floats and marching bands make their way through the city. Spectators enjoyed the early start to the Christmas season.
Are you liking the parade? Yeah. Yeah, good time.
Okay, it's our first parade, so it's awesome. It's our tradition from now on. So yeah, it's good to be here.
It was good. We got a football and they threw candy up at us on top of Jackson, so it was really good. She had a good time, and it's not too cold.
The parade route started at Queen and Main Streets and made its way through the downtown core before wrapping up beside Copps Coliseum.
Merry Christmas!
Mrs. Claus says Christmas isn't just for the kids.
I absolutely loved it. All the kids, it was just great to see and be able to, spread the Christmas cheer, and not just to the children but to the adults as well.
The parade just wouldn't be the same without the guest of honor, the Fat Man himself. Santa had a message for all the little boys and girls.
You must be good at school, be good for your mom and dad, and get to bed nice and early on Christmas Eve.
Though there may not be any snow on the ground here in downtown Hamilton, the Christmas spirit is definitely in the air. Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Glenn Cuthbert.
Speaking of Santa, he was left dangling from the ceiling in a shopping center in the UK last Saturday. The Santa Claus was stuck 15 feet off the ground for 30 minutes when a stunt for a Christmas lights switch-on show went wrong and his beard got trapped on the rope. The shopping center manager said he could have taken off his beard and let himself down, but he was such a professional that he didn't want to ruin the children's Christmas.
And that's all your Ignite News for Tuesday, November 20th. I'm Diego Flamini.
And I'm Glenn Cuthbert. For more information, check out our website, ignitenews.ca. Thanks for watching, Mohawk. Didn't want to let the children down.